come on! We got the two grills, two Wesps. I didn't actually notice the second Wesp there. They've changed.
No, they changed, yeah.
They've changed out. Who did they lose?
I believe it was the priest is still there. Oh, what was it? I don't know.
Not paying attention.
No.
We were too busy talking about other things, but they've got it. Here we go. Okay, so this is more expected. The 3 grills, 1 Su-26, the AMX for the speed, and the 2 T-57s. That's very interesting. They're going to play a more sit back. The AMX, do you think he's going to be playing the Elk style of running through the battle, suicide scouting with his speed? Or do you think he's just going to use it for maneuvering?
I would believe that he would be using it for maneuver, because even though he's very fast, he can deal damage. That's the same thing in the random battles. When you're a scout in any battle, you might think that you're useless even if you do just a little bit of damage, but you're still useful, and this would definitely be a lot more interesting if he just didn't go and be a suicide scout, and I don't expect him to be that.
Okay, this is a surprise. We have Skyroads going up to the forward line in his grill. Now, we were talking all in the pre-game that the grills would sit back and snipe. We have here a grill right at the front. He's going to use his traverse, I think, to try and catch it out. A T-57 is going forward for the Chinese team, looking to see what he can find there in the town. Over in the town, amazing first shot there by Cody, taking out the T-57 before he knew anything was going on. What a position there, over in the right, was it the far right-hand side?
Yeah, it was.
Counter-attack. Su-26 from the Mai from the Chinese team was watching. Counter-strike.
Yeah, indeed he was. And I actually think it was the forward grill that we were thinking about. What was he doing? I think he was the one that scouted the T-57, yeah. And we have more counter battery here, because I don't see any tanks. Maybe the French tank has moved to a forward bush up on the right side of the map, and we haven't seen it because no one has been over there.
Rest just went down.
Another one, yeah.
That was the captain of the team, Monster team. That was Captain Rex, and he just went down to a counter-artillery battery. And again, the other West was going down without spotting anything. This is going amazingly for the Chinese team. They've got someone in an amazing position right at the front who is seeing everything. There he is, the T-57. He was at the front, making sure that they couldn't do anything. Monster couldn't do absolutely anything without being spotted. They have been punished for every single meter they're trying to take. Let's see if Skyrose is going to take advantage of the traverse speed of the grill to see if he can defend this position. I would be worried if I was him, because the Su-26 is probably watching him right now, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely watching. And but they're playing very cautiously right now, because they are down 3 tanks, and the enemy has only lost 1. And right now, over on the left side of the map, we're actually seeing a back-to-back tactic, because there are only 2 guys in the city, and they're not taking any chances right now. They're going full defense mode over there. And even though the Su-26, he is playing a little bit of support, because he can aim over on the right side of the map.
Yeah, what sort of strategy do you think that the Chinese team would have to do to break that? With the 2 sat back to back like that, obviously driving around the corner, you're going to get whacked. At that range, even artillery won't miss. So what do you think they could do to try and bust through it?
I would, instead of going, you could go through the middle of the map in G2, but instead I would go around the entire thing and go to H1. Even though the priest might be aiming down there, he could also just be aiming around the first corner. It's a high gamble, and even when you're up this many tanks, you can't really afford to lose anyone.
One false move and everything could be over. Things are hotting up on the east. If we look at Yanni Boy in the Renault BS, he's now toe-to-toe with the T-57 of the Chinese team. They clearly know where Skyroads and Yanni Boy are. They cannot hide from them forever. The artillery are looking down upon them now. If you were in their shoes right now, would you be trying to move that back-to-back tactic away to try and support them? Or do you think they're right in staying where they are, not moving?
In this situation, I would actually move a bit more to the right corner, because the enemy is going to be moving their tanks down the. I believe they're going to move their artillery tanks down the zero line to get a better arc shot, because as you mentioned before the game start, some of these tanks do have a very high arc, and they can hit behind buildings if they get the right angle. So yeah, I would take the Su-26 and maybe move it a little bit more to the right, so he could counter battery at least, because right now they're just sitting there and waiting for the enemy to show their face.
Playing the waiting game is certainly something they're going to have to do here. They're already down, as you pointed out, by 2 tanks, 2 artillery, 2 higher tier artillery. In fact, all their tiers were higher. So they've only lost 2 tier points over the Chinese team, and now they're stuck in a very defensive position. The Chinese team don't want to be overconfident, and they're playing it right here. If they were overconfident and just charged forward, that advantage could quickly melt away.
Yeah, it could, because as we talked before, and there we see a grill. I believe he was sitting right there in F0, because it was a direct hit, and he had to be very down. He had to be very close. Oh, when the grill gets the T57, and that was a great shot.
The grill, I think Skyroads needs to move right now, because although died, obviously gave away his position. Over on the west side, we've got some action heating up. Templar and Greenbacks have been discovered by Hong Wei from the Chinese team in the grill. So the grills are going forward. I was definitely wrong when I said I think the grills are going to sit back. They are using their traverse speed to go into these close quarter situations and get round the corners to get their aim off quicker. It looks bad here for Monster. They can easily win this if Chinese make a mistake. The grill from Hung Wei is going out into the open. Does that mean that Skyrose has got to try and aim over there, but it will leave his flank absolutely revealed? So I don't know what they can do.
Oh, right now they're in quite a pickle, because it looked like the entire enemy team has moved forward and not playing support roles from behind. Yeah, and it's obvious, because you shouldn't be playing the far game when you're down to this many tanks left. There's 3 tanks, and you know where they are, so get a bit of position and try to get some kills.
Definitely. I think Chinese are trying to use their numbers right now. They're getting into position here. Both the grills from Hung Wei and Wan is getting into position, but the AMX from totally uneyed Michael takes out Greenbacks, and that means that the M7 Priest, Temple HD, is going to go down. There's nothing he can do. He's absolutely surrounded, but the grill misses his shot. The other one didn't. 2 grills there. This is good game. Good night to Monsters. Round 1 is going to Chinese. There's nothing that Skyros can do now, but he can definitely put up a fight, take down a few with him. He's now toe-to-toe with the grill. Lord Vader, lol, from the Chinese team, but he's getting flanked. There was the AMX. It was a cross-map shot, and there the final tank goes down for Team Monster. They are down and out. Round 1 in favor of Chinese. Well played.
Yeah, very well played.
What do you think they could have done to improve their chances? Most of the loss seems to have happened right at the start when they were uneyed. Sorry, they were eyed, and the Chinese managed to kill most of their tanks really early from an uneyed perspective. What would they have, or should they have done, or could have done to have prevented that in hindsight?
Well, in hindsight, it did look like most of the tanks. I didn't really pay attention to the back artilleries, but it really did look like they've either forgot to move or just got very unlucky with the enemy hitting them so straight on, because they lost 2 tanks very early to counter battery, and that's just something that you shouldn't allow the enemy to get such easy shots on you.
Definitely. That was a mistake they did. They went to the field. We discussed it earlier pre-battle that the field isn't that important. If you try and rush down the field, exactly what we said happened or could happen, happened to them. Monster was out of position in the open, got taken down. The one thing I was totally wrong on at first was when I suggested that the grills would be sitting back using their longer range and bigger splash damage. They didn't. They went forward and used their traverse speed, which was something we picked up on but didn't think would be such a highlight. But both teams did it. Now, was that something you actually expected to see? Or had a thought you might have seen it?
Actually, I didn't expect to see that at all. Actually, it's that came. Well, yeah, it was a total surprise to me actually because I haven't thought about that. But as you saw in the end, the reverse speed of the either he had too much speed going forward, the grill that got killed last, or his reverse speed is just is not good enough. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. So just to remind everyone what's happening here, since round one went to Chinese, it's a best out of 3. I did say best out of 1. I apologize, I was wrong. It's a best out of 3 for the quarterfinals. Now, Monster have lost their first game. They're still in it. They have everything to play for. They have 6,000 gold per player on the line. They're not going to give up without a fight. We are on an 8-minute delay, and my name is Dorjan.
And I'm HighFlyer15.
And you're watching the Fun Cup, where it's death from above this month. Make sure you try and join in with all the other tournaments going on. We have the the Angle Mesh. What is it?
Mangled Mesh? Mangled Metal?
Mangled Metal. Where did I get that name from? The Mangled Metal next month at the... Sorry, is it next month? The end of this month? End of this month. The 22nd. Yeah. The 22nd. If you can sign up for that now, you can win some gold yourself. You've got absolutely nothing to lose and loads of gold to gain. So do it. Get your friends together, get a group of guys together and go for it. You've nothing to lose. Look at Monster Gaming, having fun, and they have a chance to win some gold. So you guys who didn't take part had no chance. So go and sign up now.
Yeah.
Right. What's the rules for today?
Well,
make sure everyone knows.
Yep. The rules are as following. You are only allowed to pick artillery, and you have to have at least one of each nation. So no only picking grills, and no just picking French fast tanks. And the maximum tier is 4, and you have to have 4 to 7 players per team, and you can have 4 reserve players. And in total, you're allowed to have 23 tier points for 7 players, and -2 points for each player below 7. And the maximum of Wargaming.net employees per team is 2, so you could get some Wargaming help, but don't know if it will help you. You are allowed to use premium tanks, so we could be seeing the French artillery, which is the only French premium artillery in the game. Premium shells and consumables are also allowed, and teams have 10 minutes before the allocated start time to join the lobby and get ready for the battle.
Let's have a quick look at the brackets before we go on to the match, because it's going to start any minute now. The other games going on, which you guys unfortunately can't see, but are definitely going on right now, are the top bracket, USSR versus the OM-V. The other OM clan at the bottom bracket, OM Whitebeard versus BWR. In the upper bracket, BDB versus BIA. And this one you're watching today, Chinese versus MonsterGamer. The current score is 1-0 to Chinese, but everything's to play for. Let's go into game. Ooh, I can't wait to see what they do differently. Is there anything you think they could do with the current tank lineup they've got? Where could they go instead? They're obviously not going to do the same again. They're not going to go into the field again, are they? Or are they?
Maybe they are, but I would expect to see them changing their tactic up a little bit. They did go for the same tanks, so we'll have to see what they decide on. And we're starting, of course, on the opposite direction. Not of course, but luckily we did. So we're going to see some different tactics this time, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Me too. The choice of going into the field again, I think, would be a big mistake unless there's an advantage from the north side that I'm not aware of. And if the Chinese manage to take advantage of that, we'll see if they fall into their own trap that they laid for Monster Gaming.
Yeah, we saw the T-57 earlier, just rushing to the field, maybe sit in the bush. Actually, yeah, he did do that. So that was a very, very good tactic by the enemy, and it really paid off because in the end, the enemy had a very easy time just picking off them as they came into view, tried to get down the field. And yeah, well, we're seeing Skyroads again go forward. He did this at the beginning last time from the opposite direction. He sat round F7 and looked across the map in his grill. Here we go, though. It looks like Chinese are playing the same strategy again. The T-57 that was taken out first
is going forward to get some sights. That means the rest of the Chinese team are clearly aiming down upon the team.
Yeah, right now they are aiming down upon the team because, as you said, the same tank is being used as a scout. So yeah, they're having big success with that, and I've finally got killed.
Anyway, it seems like the counter battery again takes out Rex. They seem to be picking on the captain this time. So we have the Chinese team totally clued in what was going on. They sent in the artillery shells to cover their T-57. The T-57 didn't die this time. He is stuck in the corner. Everyone in Monster Gaming knows exactly where he is, but he's not dead. He's still lighting up all of Team Monster. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Chinese are in the position, offensive position again. They have Monster on the back foot. What can they do here?
Right now, I really wouldn't be focusing on getting that scout killed, but instead getting into cover where he couldn't scout you. So on the other side of the houses, or just trying to get away somehow, because as you said, the T-57 is lighting them all up, and it doesn't have the longest of view range, so getting away would be my top priority right now.
I would totally agree. Again, Monster have just lost Cody. So the Grill and the West have gone down. That's a real unfortunate shame. It's a blow that's Monster are going to feel for the rest of the battle. They're not going to be able to recover as easily as they would like, losing their Grill and a West right at the start. They were in the open for far too long. Once, as you pointed out, the scout came up to the top, lit them all up. They all tried to take him down, but while they're trying to take down the scouts, it was a distraction. The rest of the Chinese team have just been sitting in their base without any repercussions because the entire of the Monster team have been focusing their attention on the scouts.
Yeah, and they don't have to even move because as the T-57 is scouting all of them, they don't have any time to be aiming down at the other side of the base or map. So they don't have to worry about counter battery, and that's one of the first things that happened in the first game. There was 2 counter batteries, and now they just have to sit back and just fire as many shells as they want.
Interesting here. We have the same situation with the Western M7 Priest we did with the Grill and the M7 Priest last game. Back-to-back tactics. However, the other T-57, which is clearly the scouts for the Chinese team, just passed them and they didn't get the shot off. They didn't see him until he'd already crossed the street over in D345. Now, that means that the Chinese scout is in C5 right now. He's actually got through the lines and is now surrounding the last 2 members of the Monster team over on the eastern flank. The T-57 is charging the BS and taking 2 direct shots to the front. The armor of the T-57 is proving to be worth its weight in gold right now. BS is looking to charge, but he hasn't taken the bait. The Grill, Sky Rose, has come round to have a look. He has to be careful not to poke his head out, because if he does, Chinese team is going to be ready there to threat. Is he going to take the shot? Is he going to get him? I don't think it is. Oh, the destructible train. Oh, the Allies got him in the blast. Yes, the Su-26 Greenbacks took a lucky shot on the side there. Killed him without a direct shot, but that was perfect support. That's what you want to use for cross map.
Yeah, that was excellent. That was an excellent shot. And it was also excellent patience, because the Grill could have easily just gone and taken the bait as the T-57 was trying to lure him into doing. But he kept his cool and just waited for his teammates to get a shot at.
Yeah, he kept his cool. He looked across the side. If Sky Rose had gone out, he was most likely to die. He would have been out in the open. The entire of the Chinese team was almost guaranteed to be watching right now. Do you think now they've lost one of their forward scouts, they're going to change gears and maybe become a bit more aggressive? And the Chinese team have been playing very passive at the moment.
Yeah, they have been playing the supporting role as artillery is supposed to do. But I'm still waiting to see the AMX used as a forward scout. It hasn't happened at all, actually. It pushed forward when the other battle was going on and hit the back-to-back bodies at the H3 in the previous game, but it I expected a lot more from that tank, actually, but Michael seems to be using it a lot more cautiously.
Yeah, and very effective. I have to say that Michael's actually managed to get 2 of the kills last game. He was very effective in giving suppressive fire. He was totally uneyed until the end. He did a cross shot all the way from around H0 to the back-to-back team in H3 and killed one of them. And it was, or was it? No. Oh, he did one shot across the map, totally uneyed, totally unexpected with his AMX. Opposite of what I thought they would do with it. I thought they were going to use their speed to their advantage, but no, they didn't.
Yeah, instead we've seen them use the speed of the tank to get to quicker new locations to get a better shot. That's also a very, very good usage of the speed on the tank.
I'm seeing very interesting tactics I never thought were possible with just artillery. This is one of the good thing about the Fun Cup, I believe, is the restraint you get. You would never think of taking a full artillery team, but when you're forced to, and there's gold on the line, you really think. And clearly the Chinese team have been really thinking about their strategy here. They are playing very well coordinated, and they've managed to put the Monster team on their back foot. They've been making sure that they cannot get organized. They can't be able to put their plan forward because they keep splitting them up, giving early pressure against them, and once that early pressure starts to buckle, you panic a little, you get out of position, you lose a couple of tanks, and then if you lose your key players, your plan goes to pot. As many strategists often say, the plan never survives the first encounter of the enemy.
Yeah, indeed, and they've actually put almost all of our predictions to shame, because we've seen nobody going down the tracks to get an early scouting, but instead going around the houses on the right side. And there's action on the left side of the... Oh wait, he's just using the...
Yes, he's... Oh, very nice. Chinese team are using every trick in the book. They're using the 15-meter detection radius that you will see through anything. If you didn't know, in World of Tanks, if you get within 50 meters of something, you see it, no matter what. So they've used that with their expert T-57s, who have done so well these last 2 games to spot the Wesp and the M7 Priest doing the back-to-back. Immediately, the Wesp goes down. He didn't even know he was under attack until it was too late. But in doing so, the Chinese team revealed their 2 tanks over in F0. However, Greenbacks goes down immediately to the Su-26, but Skyrose replies with Lord Vader going down. It seems like every time you fire on this map, you risk getting killed by counter-artillery.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing, hitting those tanks, because they should be moving, and I'm pretty sure they do. So it's really nice aiming skills from these players. And yeah, they really used the speed of the T-57 to all of their advantage. It's really, really nice to see this play.
Here we go, the AMX 105. You wanted to see High Flyer? Here he is. Let's see what he can do against the Grill. Grill's notoriously known as one of the most powerful tier 4s because of its amazing damage at medium to high tiers. So it's one of the ones that can go against the bigger heavy tanks. We wasn't sure if it would help them so much here, but the traverse speed has really been helpful. The BS from Yanni Boy managed to take out Michael, who was scared by Skyroad's poke around the corner, but 1110 was not going to have that. Him and the Chinese team were saying, hey, you're going to bully Michael? Have this. Skyrose goes down. Over on the east side, though, the action's not letting up. The M7 Priest, which doesn't have a very good traverse speed, is struggling to find a good position against the Su-26 from me and RivetingTV's T-57. What we know from the previous encounters, the M57's got a lot of armor and has been using it. Did you expect the armor from the M57 to be so effective this time, High Flyer?
No, I actually didn't, because I haven't really seen the amount of armor it had on before this tournament. But it's really proving useful, because the previous T-57 took a lot of beatings while fighting against the BS up in the right side corner. Oh, and it's
down
the
goes
same,
Templar.
Yeah, the same situation as last time. The M7 Priest was the last one over at the back-to-back buddies, and
the GGs go out. There you go. Well mannered to the end. Very well done, guys. Monsters, you put up a great fight. Chinese guys, amazing ore tactic. It was a rush forward, totally scatter the monsters, and from that point it was easy pickings when you managed to pull them apart. That proves that a good strategy is always to put your opponent on the back feet and don't let up. The Chinese team didn't seem to want to make a mistake. They played it nice and slow, and it paid off for them. Is there anything you think Monster could have done in hindsight with watching these replays themselves? Anything they could have done?
They were up against a very, very, very great strategy. just the composition of the team, 2 fast scouts and grills, and then the Su-26 with the turret, and that was just a really good composition of team. And yeah, I really don't see any. Maybe they should have had a backup plan. I don't know if they had a plan, but a backup plan in the case of being scouted fast would have done wonders.
Definitely, they did feel. I did seem to feel that they were put on the back foot, and they didn't manage to recover from it. They were getting a bit disorientated. They couldn't get into position, and that was the end of that.
Oh, we have to
side by side.
The DS is playing very well, because he could have made the grill suicide by shooting straight into his side, but he got behind him and GG.
GG. They had already called out the GGs. I didn't expect a fight to go out there, but he did sign to put it up. Yanni Boy wasn't letting anything go down, holding on to any clutches of hope. So there we are. We have the result of the first match. It was 2-0 to Chinese over Monster Gaming. So that was something to really whet your appetite for something to come. The Chinese guys obviously had a massive plan in mind. They executed it perfectly and destroyed Monster. Good effort from Monster, well managed until the end. You couldn't have asked for a better match, could you?
No, it was really a pleasure to see this match, because we saw that actually we went into the match just expecting to see some quick scouting, maybe going through the middle, but Chinese really had a good plan about first match just going to a bush and just waiting for the enemy to push forward a little bit and then taking them out that way, and it was a really great play, and I'm really excited for the next rounds.
Me too, me too. You need to check your message, my friend. I believe you have a few things to sort out, and I'll take over. If you want to put up the brackets for me, and I'll talk about the overview of what we're doing, and I'll go through it for the watchers here. Right. Let me just sort something out, guys, and I'll be right with you. Okay, guys, we are today watching the Fun Cup Death from Above theme, where you can only play artillery tier 4 and below. One of the additional rules is that you must have one from every country. That's USSR, that is French, that is all the others, American and German. We didn't expect to see as much as we did. The use from the grills were forward using the traverse, the armor from the T-57s, and the scouting ability of the tier 2 was fantastic. Phenomenal play from both sides, Chinese pipping it at the post. And the brackets to look out for: USSR versus OMV, BDB and BIA, OM Whiteboard and BWR. Now, we'll get the results in as soon as we can, and I'll let you know. So, I think the news from the Hotwire is that USSR won. I believe the chat is actually calling for USSR, and you are getting your wish. We'll be casting them next, I believe. So I'm going to announce that now. Hooray! Just to let you know, there is an 8-minute delay on the stream, so anything you say will not come up for another 8 minutes. So don't worry about it. Don't stress, and we will be watching the chat in real time and trying to reply to your queries whenever you have them. We are RivetingTV here. We'll be your host for this evening, and it's Highflyer and myself. You might know Highflyer from his amazing YouTube series at TheRiisingSun on YouTube. You might have seen my face around Treadheads on YouTube also, where we look at real tanks driving around. The other cups going on today, sorry, not today, this month and next month and forever and ever and ever until we see fit, will be the Mangled Metal Cup, which is starting on the 22nd of September 2012 at 6 till 10-ish Central European time. If you can make that time, get a team together. You've got nothing to lose, lots of gold to win. Are you back, Christian?
Yes, I am. I'm still here. Just looking for some stuff on the computer and trying to talk to Simon.
Okay. So, wow. I'm really looking forward to the next ones. If Chinese are telling us, hey, we're serious, we're going for this crown. One of the other teams, I have to say, have won most tournaments these days. OM Whitebeard. I've been told from a good source that they've been winning a lot. So maybe Chinese, or USSR as the crowd flavor seems to be out there, can give them a run for their money. I'm really looking forward to it. Next match will be Chinese versus either OM Whitebeard or BWR. We won't be watching that. We shall be watching USSR versus whoever wins out of BDB and BIA, the Steel Panthers. Really looking forward to hearing the results for these and seeing what they can come up with. We'll be watching from the point of view of USSR. Anyway, just going to take a drink. Lovely. Right, some of the rules. Draws. If a draw happens, they become a null or void game. So if someone wins one and there's 2 more draws, the team that won one would win. If all are draws, we have to actually do a replay. But luckily, so far, there has been no draws, even though there has been a few minutes where both teams are trying to stare each other out. It seems to be every finite movement that the teams do has a massive payoff or loss. So we've really got to pay attention to what happens. So the next game, we've got about 20 minutes, maybe 15. I'm hoping it'll be less than that, but I'll let you know as soon as we know. So what are you guys enjoying here in the chat? Let's have a look at some of your messages over here. USSR, USSR, USSR. You've got a lot of fans out there, USSR. Go High Flyer. Yeah. People are cheering for you. And people are calling me a noob. T1 noob. He shouldn't be sitting there dying. The T1 guys and the FT1 17 are both us. We're the casters. We get killed at the start, and we deal with everything like that. So ignore us. That's not part of the strategy. Unfortunately, not yet do World of Tanks support watching from casters, but it will do soon. So I'm really looking forward to that. It will help make it much easier. Oh, alrighty then. Let's have a look at the tech tree. We've got if you could switch over to the tech tree, my friend, and we have a look at some of the other possible combinations we could see. We saw 2 widely different teams, or should I say setups. We saw 1 AMX, 3 grills, 1 Su-26 on both teams, and the differences came with 2 T-57s taken for their armor and scouting potential compared to Wesps and M7 Priest taken by the MonsterGaming team for the more rapid fire. It seemed to pay off dividends for the extra armor on the T-27, often taking 3 shots from most of the artilleries, the low-tier artilleries, to take it out. That armor proves worthwhile, which is really making me want to see what these French gold tanks could do, what the French gold artillery could actually do with that 60 armor. Would a team be punished for not taking some grills with the punching ability, or mislaying their Su-26 that also has a good penetrating ability? If a team goes for mostly Wesps and M7 Priests, then go against a team that have mostly the French, then they're going to suffer because the armor actually seems to paying off. If the T-57 with 30 armor is doing so well, what's 60 armor going to do? That's food for thought. The next map, I believe, checking the notes, will be Abbey. Don't know if we're going to have a different set of maps for that, but I believe the next map will be on Abbey. Can we have a look at Abbey? Are you free at High Flyer?